What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Sweet Street Podcast. It is that sound, you know that song, it's the Fox on NFL. That means it's the Super Bowl, and here it is, the 49ers. And the 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. My NFC, the AFC, so, coming up in this game, man, I don't know. It's going to be a really good game. I'll tell you, the Super Bowl is always a good game. If you're Patriots, then it's not a good game. Because they always come back, or they're usually up ahead, or they win at the last minute. They have a really good team. You don't have the Patriots in the Super Bowl this year, which is the whole world, the whole United States, and everybody's going, hallelujah, except Massachusetts. But it's going to come down, this game is going to come down like Super Bowl 50, because you have, in Super Bowl 50 was the Denver Broncos, yay, versus the Carolina Panthers. But what was in that matchup was the Denver Broncos defense and the Carolina Panthers offense. So when I say, and then compare it to now this game, it's the San Francisco 49ers defense and the Kansas City Chiefs offense. So if it comes to be like Super Bowl 50 where the Niners defense dominates, they've got a good front four. You've got D Ford, you've got Arg Armisen, you've got Nick Bosa, you've got Solomon Thomas, and then you look at their middle linebacker, Quan Alexander. He's a really good talent guy. You look on their cornerbacks. One quarterback, is Richard Sherman, who's been in the Super Bowl, who's won a Super Bowl with Seattle, then lost another Super Bowl against the Patriots, which they should have run the ball to Marshawn Lynch. They would have been champs. And then you got another corner, Ahkello Witherspoon. Ahkello Witherspoon, I've met that guy. I've talked to him about, I've talked a little bit. When he was playing for the University of Colorado, so I kind of know him a little bit, because I go up to the spring games and I get to meet some of these players. Anyways, let's get down to the last 7 minutes of the show. We'll just play the clip of the Super Bowl media night, some weird and funny moments for you guys. It should be interesting. I think it's going to be funny. She'll be looking at, with Kittle and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes and Jimmy Garoppolo and Emmanuel Sanders and Richard Sherman. So Super Bowl 54 feels like a dawning of a new era. For the first time since the 2015 season, the Patriots will not be competing in this title. With the feature of Tom Brady, and then, the Patriots dynasty. The game starts here, Mountain Time, my time, 4:30, 6:30 Eastern on Fox. San Francisco Niners and those Chiefs. Kyle Shanahan versus Andy Reid. I think dominates is really what's going to happen. Is how are the Chiefs? How's the Niners going to attack the Chiefs? We got some few memorable moments, and then some of this postseason with the Packers, and the NFC Championship try to do what they're doing, their scheme. Why they didn't really do that much, because they found the Niners really figured out how they were playing on their defense and did a different scheme. So if they attack, and they just attack them by running the football, and it's using Joe Staley, their offensive tackle, swinging them outside, and you've got him going, boom, and you got a guy just going, he's running to your left. I call it's HB end zone, which is a play from Madden. That's what I call it. And you just have the guy just go take the left and go up, and that's how he shoots up against them. So if the Niners really did what they did against the Packers, Kansas City did slow down Derrick Henry, but if whatever the Niners did, I bet they can add a little more into that. As this especially is, but really we have to really focus on is How is the Niners going to stop Patrick Mahomes? That's the question. How are they going to stop them? Like, how are you going to stop Patrick Mahomes? Because the Texans couldn't do it. The Titans couldn't do it. So how are you going to stop? You just have to watch that second quarter. So you have to watch. I mean, that's the one thing about in the Super Bowl is watch how the Chiefs play in the second quarter, because that's usually where they get their most points. If the Niners can slow down the Chiefs in the second quarter and make it a one-possession game, or if they go up, then you've got to really attack. I mean, if Kyle Shanahan, you've been in a Super Bowl before. You've been an offense coordinator for the Falcons when you were up 31-3 against the Patriots and you blew it. So if you're up in that game, past mistakes. If we're up 31-10 or we're up 3-score game, you don't just go conservative. You go on the attack, and that's one thing these teams don't do when you have a really good team like the Chiefs or the Patriots, whoever, is you think you have a really good lead, but then you feel like you want to play like, it's okay, we'll step back and we got a good lead and we're just play conservative. No, you don't. You continue to attack until you go in and get the most points, like the Seahawks did against the Broncos. Like, yeah, there's nothing going. I mean, the Broncos they just had nothing going in that game. But if they gotten something, maybe it would have been different. But you see the Seahawks, they were just kept attacking and kept scoring and made it 43-8. So if you're up, you just got to keep on going. How these teams get here? Well, the Niners beat the Vikings in the division round. Then they faced the Packers and beat the Packers. The Texans faced the Chiefs. The Chiefs came back. The Texans had that lead, and then Chiefs came back. Same thing with the Titans. Had that lead, the Chiefs came back. And so this is where we set the Super Bowl matchup. I mean, the matchups you're going to look at is how's George Kittle? How the Niners going to use George Kittle? Is he going to go off? How can the Niners stop Travis Kelce and the weapons of KC? So yeah, my prediction on this game, I think I really win, but if the Chiefs win, yeah, if Kansas City wins, I don't care, because us Bronco country are going to be like, yeah, you guys got 2, we got 3, so what's up? And another thing, if the Chiefs win, the Chiefs are going to make Patrick Mahomes the highest quarterback. They're going to pay them all that money, and they won't have money to pay the rest of their players. So their weapons will go bye-bye, where they'll have to cut people, and the Chiefs will just go back down. Like, you've seen it 1,000 times with the other teams, where you pay that a lot of money, and then you don't have enough money to pay for the rest of your players. It happened with the Miami Marlins, but they were Florida Marlins. They won the World Series in 2003, paid a lot of it, and then couldn't pay their players, so they had to trade them. And then you see what they are now, just a low average baseball team. So teams do that, like the Broncos too. Like, we won the Super Bowl. If Von Miller's going to be free agent, you gave him all that money, and then you had little bit money where you couldn't keep your key guys like Malik Jackson and Danny Trevathan and some of those guys, and even you couldn't even probably for Brock Osweiler, because he decided he wanted to go to Houston. But I think the Chiefs will win this game. I'm sorry to say it, but they need to win this game. So Patrick Mahomes, the highest quarterback, and the Chiefs won't have no money where they have to cut other guys, and then Chiefs go from a good football team to an average football team, and then that means the Broncos can just creep on building up and get back to glorifying. So yeah, that's my prediction. It's going to be a really, really fun game. I'm excited. I'm also excited for the Super Bowl commercials. I hope Doritos has a good one coming out. So without further ado, let's play some of the moments from Super Bowl meetings.
Mahomes moment? Probably when he comes in the huddle and he sounds like a frog. That's probably my favorite moment. I crack up every time. Do it right. I can't do that no more because he ain't gonna throw me the ball no more.
No, but my father did have radioactive sound waves from outer space being played at all times in the house when I was a kid. So I heard some things. I don't know what they were, but obviously, who really does?
I'm George Kittle. Who are you?
I'm Deion Sanders.
Oh, wow. What's up?
Who on the team would be most stressed to watch your kids?
To watch my kids, Richard Sherman. He's we call him Uncle Richard. You know, you call somebody uncle. Well, some people uncles are crazy, right? But he's like Uncle Richard, aka babysitter. You know what I mean? Like he's very responsible.
Yeah. Shout out to Brad Pitt. We're glad that you're rooting for us. Because we spent a lot of money on you, man, in your movie. So.
I can wear them?
Yes, for sure.
What do you guys think? You gotta move it like that? G-A-R-A-R-R-A. No? He's giving me looks.
He is the worst texter of all time. I'm telling you, he leaves me on red all the time. I'll be like, hey, Jimmy, I got a question. Maybe on this play, should I run my route like this? No response. Jimmy, you want to go to a movie? No response. And then the next day, he's like, yeah, I got your text. I just didn't respond. Thanks, Jim. That's awesome. So, yeah, he's a bad texter.
G-A-R-A-P-O-L-P-P-O-L-O. I don't know. Forget it.
When I got here, they had on the white marshmallow-looking stuff for me, and I said there was no way I was wearing that, and they said that's all they had. I go, I promise you, Andy Reid's not wearing that.
First off, do you hate dress codes?
No, I like dress codes as long as it's part of Tommy Bahama. I'm good, yeah.
How did you get all the swag in your family and the brother didn't get any?
Oh, if you talk to Jason, he'll show you some swagger too, man. He's a confident individual, who he is and all that, but...
Are you going to be wearing a Speedo?
No Speedos.
They want me to take the Louis off.
Are any of you guys gonna pick off any of those guys? Are any of you guys gonna beat any of those guys for 6?
I see how y'all set us up out here.
Yeah.
Having Sammy on this team is fun, man. Like, his personality is crazy. He believes in aliens and all this other crazy stuff, so...
I don't know. I'm not really into conspiracies, but
You could go out on a date with Lizzo, Rihanna, or Cardi B. Who would you choose? Lizzo, definitely. Yeah. My kids love her music the most, so that's the one we listen to in the car the most, so it'd have to be her. They'd be impressed.
Begged you and pleaded with you, do not shoot back. But you shot back anyway. You shot back anyway with Revis.
I had already done it by the time you called me. But it was just unfortunate, man. It's like, I didn't do nothing to that, man.
So I was too late.
You was a little late.
I eat Chick-fil-A before every game. So what I do is Chick-fil-A don't open on Sunday. I grab a chicken sandwich Saturday. Listen, man, hey, you can't change up. I started it 2 years ago. 2 years ago when I broke the sack record. So what I did was I was eating Chick-fil-A every day. So I was like, listen, this is it.
Oh, that was right there. Some of the clips of some funniest and weirdest moments of the Super Bowl media night. If you guys have a chance, go to Mark Shalarith on Twitter. See some of his contact. He had there's one I saw was him and Scott DeHuff. They were in a bathroom together in the tub, which was weird and funny. But that's just 104.3 The Fan, the Denver radio sports station here. Go check that out. But anyway, signing off. I'm out. Talk to you guys later. Enjoy the Super Bowl on Sunday, and we will talk to you on Monday. Your Super Bowl recap, and then we go from the rest of the sports. See ya.